This is a money clip that I made using some Swedish steel from bandsaw that a buddy of mine gave me. This is when I did traditional blacksmithing with the forge, and this is what it started out as, a bandsaw. And I cut a blank from that bandsaw. And here I'm just taking the blank that I cut from the bandsaw, and I'm utilizing the belt sander to just kind of clean up the edges and get some of that scale and some of the rust that was on it off. Okay, so the clip on the right is the silver coin. That's the one I did in the forge blacksmithing. The one on the left is the blank that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use the copper coin on it. Okay, get my heat right there. Move it. Give me a line right across that, closer to my tip. Okay, let me get on that. Okay, that's good there. Just that whole area, I'm going to kind of flatten that out just so that you just stay your flame there, and I'll just move it. How's that? That way I get her right where I want her. There you go. Bigger area to flatten. Beautiful. There you go. Go ahead. Yep, get her. You just hold her steady. There you go. A little bit this. Okay. Not too close. I'm going to flip it over. Okay, give me some heat right on that bend. Give me a nice orange. Okay. Okay. All right. Now let me take a look at this. That's a little more than I want, so heat that up. So we're just going to take, by heating this up, we're going to take a little bit of that tension out of there. Just get it nice and cherry red, and then we'll let it cool like that. Okay, I'm going to flip it. Beautiful. Okay, go ahead and stop. And let's just keep that in there till she cools. About where I want it. That's nice. Compare these two. So this one's just a hair shorter, which I think I like. I don't think I need it quite that long. Don't prefer it as long either. You getting that okay, hon? In that, and then I think we're going to keep our tab. Oh, okay. Basically, I'm looking for some heat. Yeah, right up at that tip there, right there. Yeah. Nope. I need it right there where the mark's going to go. Okay. Keep your head on it. I'll pull it off just to get a little more heat. There goes the dog. Okay. Clean it up a little bit. We're going to clean this area up. Actually, let me clean this backside up a little bit more because that's where I'm going to be soldering that coin on. What I'm going to do with this particular one is I've got the coin on the flat side on this one. What I'm doing on this one is I'm putting the copper coin on this side because I think I like it better. So also when I did this, I flame soldered it with silver solder. I'm going to TIG solder this one with silver solder as well. And I've cleaned my solder, I've cleaned my copper, and I've cleaned my steel. This is that Swedish bandsaw steel. So I'll do that right now. I've got my TIG set at 55 amps on DC. I'm going to remove my glasses just because this is going to be real tight. I'm going to be real close and I can see a lot better up close without my glasses. So I'm going to get the tungsten just as close as I can and try not to dip it. So I'll do that right now. And I'll try to put tack on both sides initially and then I'll go through and do it. I ended up putting a layer of solder on the coin just on the edges so that it would fuse with the steel on the clip. I'm just using a little Dremel stone. It's not really stone, it's like a pumice type deal. It's got some flexibility, not a lot, but just using that to just get right along the edges of the coin. Try to clean that up a little bit. Unlike the other one, my goal for this one was to have the money clip silver. I'll show you a mistake I've got in this here in a little bit. It didn't turn out like I would have hoped. But, you know, I'm going to show the errors just like I would show you my successes. So maybe you can learn from that in the future. M7 Metal Works, that's what we call the shop here at the house. My project here is complete. So I'm just kind of doing a final wrap up here. This is the money clip that was done traditionally. So I actually blacksmithed this one. And I did narrow this one today with the torch, but everything else was blacksmithed. I actually fired up the coal forge and did all that. You can see it's rougher. The hammer marks you can see a little less refined. This one here, I used torch, so modern means to make this one here. And I've polished that one a little bit. It could use even more polishing, but it's pretty decent right now. It catches every little light, and I think you can see more. It looks a lot worse, I think, on camera. On the modern one, the one I just did today, using modern techniques, modern tools, what have you, you can see right here and right here, I made a very serious mistake, and with the TIG welder, I ended up putting a layer of solder on the coin, and I didn't show that. I didn't really record it. I struggled to get that steel to be molten at the same time as the copper, and to get those two to fuse. And so the reason is because that copper is just so much thicker. And so what I ended up doing is just using a little bit of silver, and just putting a little bit of a silver on both sides of the coin, and then put my my money clip on top of that, and then soldered it together, no problem at all. But when I put that solder, that silver solder, onto the coin, it just too much heat. 85, I ended up ramping up my amperage on my TIG to 85 instead of 55, and I probably should have gone more like 65 or 70, because 85 was just too much, as you can see. And so I just punched through. It's actually not as bad as it looks on camera. It doesn't, it's not very high. It doesn't even go past the rim of the coin itself. But it's significant enough to mar the finish on the top. And so my apologies to all you Canadians out there. You're now Canada. I've obliterated your C. And so it looks kind of neat. I've left the black, and I've just burnished with some stainless or some steel wool. And I really like the look of it quite a bit. The silver coin is pretty too. A little hard to get a picture without the light above me here kind of reflecting on it. Kind of tough. But anyways, it looks really neat too. Just flip them both over. Of course, the style is totally different. This is, you know, I chose to put the coin on top like this, which I like this style considerably better. We're going to call that a wrap. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. The money clip project is complete. It isn't perfect. I showed you guys some of the mistakes that I made in the coin. Because you need to see those things as well as the successes. And so anyways, that's a wrap for today. I'll try to have something maybe in the future, something a little more serious blacksmith project, and you know, something that we'll actually fire up the coal forge on and have some fun doing that. But anyways, I hope this project was fun for you. I hope it's something that interests some of you. It's not something I do a lot of. These are the only two money clips I've ever made, and working with this thin metal is kind of odd too. It's different for me, but I learned some stuff on it. I definitely learned some things using the TIG, and I continue to get better and better with this TIG welder that I've got. It's pretty awesome. I'm really impressed with the Invertig 221. So anyone out there considering that, I definitely recommend the thing. It's a pretty awesome machine. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. We'll see you on the next project. Have a good day.